What's up, Whippers? Vice Games here, and I'm back from Melbourne, where the Pokémon International Championship for 2023 in Australia took place. It was the Oceanic International, where you see the best players from all over the world come in to try and claim an international championship title. It was won by Azul. Azul's a pretty big content creator here on YouTube, so I suggest you go and check out Azul's content over on his YouTube channel. I myself competed, and while I didn't make it to day 2, I did manage to go 6 wins and 3 losses with the deck up here behind me. It's Flaaffy and it's Snorlax, so it's a little bit different to your standard fare when it comes to the metagame. But I really like it. It sort of ticked all the boxes for me and for what I wanted to play, and I had a lot of fun playing it. I can't recommend this deck enough. It is a lot of fun. If you're sick of playing Mew and Lugia and Regis and Lost Box, give it a go. I guarantee that you'll have a fun time, if nothing else. So let me go through it, give you the lowdown on how it works, and then we'll jump into a few games. So look, this deck is all about the Snorlax and the Flaaffy, so we'll go through them. First of all, Snorlax. It has quite a few good things going for it. It's got the high HP total, 150. It's got the ability Unfazed Fat, which prevents the effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. So it has that built-in big parasol ability, which only affects itself, and affects itself wherever it is, no matter what, unless abilities are turned off. So very powerful ability. I think the main thing is that Lost Box is unable to target it with attacks like Sableye Lost Mine, and Veltal can't come in with the one-hit KO attack that it has, so it is pretty good at fending off effects of attacks. You can't even paralyze it, things like that. The attack is quite strong. For only 3 energy, it does 180 damage with Thumping Snore. The drawback of putting it to sleep and then needing to flip 2 coins between turns is a bit of a detriment, but you sort of just build the deck around having to mitigate being asleep. So for a start off, you sort of expect one prize Pokemon to get knocked out immediately anyway, so you don't have to play around that. And then if your Snorlax remains in place, well, you've just gained yourself a free turn anyway, so that's great. And then you've got multiple cards here in the deck to get you out of that position where the Snorlax remains asleep. So you've got Bird Keeper, you've got Scoop Up Net, you've got Escape Rope as your outs there. Then we turn to the Flaaffy. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up Flaaffy in front of me so I know what I'm talking about. Flaaffy, it is a bit of a throwback to Electric all the way back in Emerging Powers. It's even got the same name on the ability, Dynamotor. It's a 90 HP Pokemon, just like that one. 50 damage, just like that one with the attack, and 2 retreat cost and weak to fighting. So, very familiar stats if you were a player from that time. The Flaaffy is here to facilitate the deck via its ability, Dynamotor. So once during your turn, attach a Lightning Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Very strong. Anything that allows you to get more energy into play out of order, out of step, ignoring the 1 energy per turn rule, is traditionally quite strong in the game, and Flaaffy is a great example of that, letting you retrieve energy from the discard pile and attaching them to your Pokemon on the bench. So a very neat partner for Snorlax, and very good in a single prize deck as a single prize strategy, because the longer the game goes, the more uses of the ability that you have, the stronger it is, the bigger its impact over the course of the game. So, and then I'll run through the other bits and pieces that make up the deck. Alongside the Unfazed Fat Thumping Snore Snorlax, you also have the Snorlax from Vivid Voltage with Gormandize. So it has the ability, once during your turn, if it's in the active spot, you can draw cards until you have 7 cards in your hand, and if you use the ability, your turn ends. So it gives you a really strong turn 1 that many other decks don't have access to. It is very important to be able to set up your board in time. So being able to play your hand down, using Gourmandize, drawing cards up on a turn where you normally wouldn't be able to do anything anyway is great. So great card, awesome effect. Really recommend it in single prize decks that look a lot like this one behind me. Then, Zekrom is our quintessential lightning attacker. It takes lightning energy to use Wild Shock. It does 130 damage. This Pokemon also does 60 to itself, and your opponent's Pokemon is now paralyzed. So, its usefulness is in a number of different ways, present in a number of different ways in this deck. So, being able to paralyze big HP Pokemon means that if your opponent doesn't run away to get out of the paralysis, you can just buy yourself extra turns with the guaranteed paralysis from Zekrom. It can be a 1-for-2 Pokemon if you're able to attach a Choice Belt to it. And because it's a lightning type, with the Choice Belt attached, it's also able to one-shot things like Lugia or Palkia. So, very, very good card. Highly recommend including at least one in whatever type of Flaaffy box you decide to run. Being able to paralyze without any coin flip or effect that can't be played around or controlled is very strong. And this Zekrom does see a lot of play in many of the Flaaffy box decks out there. Alongside Zekrom, you've got the Drapion there. Wild Style reduces its attack cost by 1 colorless for each single strike, rapid strike, and fusion strike Pokemon your opponent has in play. So, very obviously, this card is intended and included in order to counter Mew VMAX, which can give you a bit of a rough time if you don't have something like Drapion to even things up. It very much tilts the game in your favor, having the Drapion in your deck. My approach is sometimes I will try and take 3 prizes before I attack with Drapion. Sometimes I'll just take the opportunity to attack with Drapion straight away. As long as I'm taking 3 prizes with this card, I feel like it's served its purpose. And then you just sort of play out the rest of the game as best you can. Alongside Drapion, one of the interesting inclusions in the deck was the Jynx from Silver Tempest, I want to say. It has the ability Selfish Lips. If it's knocked out by damage from an opponent's Pokemon V, they don't take a prize. It's kind of good. It's not always relevant, but it is good that it's in the deck as an option. And then Psychic Assault, which is more what it's there for. It does 10 plus 10 more for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So sometimes you get kind of awkward turns that you have to play out. Jynx is there with Psychic Assault to allow you to finish off an opponent's damaged Pokemon for just 2 energy. And given that we run Twin Energy in this build, which I'll sort of get into later, means that Jynx can attack without relying on Dynamotor at all. So, very good. Just to run through some of the other Pokemon there, you see the Manaphy there. Wave Veil is very important in a deck with so many low HP bench-sitting Pokemon. You've got Mew there to promote every time an opponent's Pokemon knocks you out. It lets you search a bit further with Mysterious Tail to look for those important items like Escape Rope and Choice Belt and even just Level Ball. So one of the issues that you can experience with this deck sometimes is because it's a 3/3 count of Flaaffy, you might have troubles setting up more than one, and Mew helps you hit the level balls sooner. So, very good. Great target for Air Balloon as well, for when you need to pivot. You've got Radiant Greninja. It's a very obviously strong in a deck that wants energy in the discard pile. So every time you have a lightning energy in the hand, it's potentially a +2 with concealed cards. And it has direct synergy with Flaaffy, where it lets you skip the 1 energy attachment rule per turn with its ability. So very good. And then to round things out, you've got the Ditto with Sudden Transformation. That ability allows Ditto to use the attack of any Pokemon in your discard pile which doesn't have a rule box. So you won't be using Drapion's attack with Ditto, but you'll be using the attacks of your other main attackers in the deck. And the reason why I like Ditto is just obviously the versatility, right? So sometimes I want a second Wild Shock, and Sudden Transformation lets me do that. Sometimes I want the 4th Thumping Snore, and Ditto allows me to do that. So even Jynx being in the discard pile means that I can just put a Twin Energy on the Ditto and away I go, right? So quite good. Recommend the Ditto in your Lightning Box deck. Give it a go. It's just a bit different. It's a bit different. It's a bit of fun. Highly recommend. We'll go through the trainer line now, and I promise I won't spend too long on it, but I do want to talk about Sonia first. So Sonia is a supporter that doesn't get talked about or used too often. Has the card text, search your deck for either 2 basic Pokemon or 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So it is a very direct search, and I felt that this is what the deck needed, because it's a single prize deck, and because I want to try and use every single card in my hand. I don't want to just research away precious resources every single turn of the game. I felt that Sonia got me what I wanted. There were times where I would get through, it felt like 20 cards and not see Lightning Energy, or maybe see 1 Lightning Energy. So Sonia was my way to get those energies out. And it was also the way for me to be able to get basic Pokemon out of the deck and not have a dead card like VIP Pass in the deck, right? So I recommend giving this card a go in decks like Flaaffy or Frostmoth. Cards that, or decks rather, that are single prize decks that have a longer game plan ahead of them. It can be worth giving it a go. Sometimes all you want is energy. Sometimes all you want is a Pokemon. You don't need to research your hand just to do that, right? You can Sonia, and then you've got the research for the following turn. So give it a go. You got the Serena there for the flexibility. It is a deck that wants to gust up Pokemon V to take the knockout, as well as be able to discard energy to draw. So Serena is a pretty good fit for a deck that does need those extra consistency cards. Despite what I just said about Sonia, research is a pretty powerful effect. Sometimes you need everything, so go with the research. Discard that hand, draw the 7 cards, get your Flaaffy and your Escape Rope and your energy and all of those things. Sometimes you just have to. Bird Keeper is there as a way to get out of a sleeping Snorlax scenario. Okay, so sometimes your opponent doesn't have an answer to the Snorlax. Maybe they attack it with Cramorant or something and it remains asleep. Play the Bird Keeper, get out of the active spot. Maybe you promote Mew with an Air Balloon. And then, along with the 3 cards that you draw with Bird Keeper, you also get to search for a 4th. So, pretty good. The Stormy Mountains, of course, are there to shore up your consistency, get out those Mareeps, find your Zekrom, and generally just be there as a counter stadium as well. And then you've got all your item cards there. Quick Balls, Level Balls, search out your Pokemon. Hisuian Heavy Ball, I like more as having a 9th item search card, more than anything else. But it can be good if you prize some crucial components. Maybe you prize the Drapion in a crucial game. Maybe you prize the Manaphy in a crucial game. You know, so Hisuian Heavy Ball, I look at it that way. Just 1 Scoop Up Net. It would be great to fit more than 1. I sort of don't have the room, and I sort of don't expect to be able to use concealed cards more than once a turn with a deck like this. So the Scoop Up Net is there purely to just rescue Pokemon that I don't want in play. So maybe I want to get Snorlax off the bench. Maybe I want to get Manaphy or Mew out of harm's way. Something like that. Very useful against Lost Box. So try to include at least the 1 Scoop Up Net. Ordinary Rod, pretty obvious. Need to recover Pokemon, play the Ordinary Rod. Escape Rope is important against things like Ice Cube and Flying Pikachu. So you push them out of the way, and then against Flying Pikachu, for example, use Serena, bring it back to the active, and maybe you just take a 1-hit KO of Zekrom with a belt attached. I don't know. Speaking of which, Air Balloon, Belt are your tools. And then the energy is a lot like what you saw in Cherrim, right? So there's 8 Lightning Energy, 4 Twin Energy. It means that this deck is quite resilient when it comes to how feeble Flaaffy can be at times. You can just get away with just one Flaaffy in play. You go Twin Energy Dynamotor, off you go with Snorlax. Or, you know, you just got to think about those game states where things go a bit wonky. You can't get a Flaaffy in play on the turn that you want. So, yeah. Look, this is the deck. I got a match or two coming up in the rest of the video. So, look, if you enjoy seeing decks like this played at international level competition, like the video, please. Please. I went crazy building this deck, but it worked. So, look, I really appreciate everybody that's hung around for the last, it feels like the last 2 months. All I've been doing is testing decks for the International. This is where I landed, and it got me 69th place, so I can't be too dissatisfied with that, you know. I'm pretty happy, to be honest, pretty stoked. So, look, enjoy the games. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next live stream or video, so take care. Goodbye, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back. See you later. So my opponent's going first. No, my opponent chose to go second. That's always exciting. Got a double Snorlax in the lead here. I don't really fancy putting Jynx in the lead. If we draw energy, we can just naturally attach to Snorlax and go. Otherwise, this hand is looking a bit yucky. Interesting. So I might have to go Level Ball here. And I'm just going to see if we've got the Gormandized Snorlax in deck. No, we don't. It's prized. Uh-oh. Awkward hand to start with. But let's see how we go. Tail. Quick Ball. That is what I was looking for. Now we don't need Drapion here, so we'll go Quick Ball, get rid of Drapion. And we need Greninja. So this could be controversial, but I am going to Concealed Cards. Wow. That worked out pretty well. About as good as it can get. The only thing that would have been better actually there is landing the Mareep as well, somehow. But can't really complain with what we got off the top there. Really need a supporter for next turn. Heavy Ball would have worked kind of as well. Actually, Heavy Ball would have been good. Because then we could get Snorlax out of the prizes. And then manually attach to retreat the Mew and then Gormandize. So that could have worked, but... oh well. We're doing our best out here. Looks like our opponent might use Read the Wind. And discard something. A Research. Interesting choice. Makes you think that the other card must be a Research as well. Sonia's a good start. Sonia's a good start. I'm gonna use Concealed Cards. So Stormy is great for us. So let's do that, and we'll use Stormy Mountains. Mareep. It's getting a bit dicey though. Let's use Tail. Level Ball. So this needs to be a Manaphy because I fear the Raikou on the following turn. I could Serena for 5 here to try and hit multiple things. Or we could just chill. Chilling's not bad too, but let's just try it. Right, let's go double energy. Hello? Have I already used conceal? Oh, I have. Oops. You can see the other 4 cards if you want. You have to click the button. It just sort of saves time by not showing you the other choices that you don't normally get to see. Or that you can't otherwise choose. But I agree that it probably should just show you everything by default. I don't know why it doesn't. So seeing the Serena come out there leaves me hopeful that our opponent doesn't just hunt down the Snorlax. They'll take a prize lead here quite likely, but that's fine. So I got a couple of videos that I'll probably do for for how I went at the IC. So I'm gonna do like a deck profile, hopefully get it out tonight or tomorrow, just covering the deck and how it works. And then down the track, I want to do a longer form, like this is how the OCIC went for me. So I won't. With the video upcoming, I won't really go into like how I did at the event, but how I did will probably inform what the content of the deck profile looks like, right? So could just knock this out for 2 prizes straight up, you know? We'll also got Jynx here. Jynx is pretty cool. Let's do this first. Draw some cards. Yeah, cool. Got Flaaffy. Sort of want the second Mareep in play, hey. Probably... That's probably good. That's probably good. I'm just going to knock out the Crobat. We've got Choice Belt here, right? So I'm sort of hanging out for the Stoutland. So I want to keep this Choice Belt in hand if I can. And just go Thumping Snore. Sonia and Serena will keep us going. Keep us topped up for access to energy with concealed cards or however else we want to approach the upcoming situation. We're asleep. Though, on the other hand, I may need to start drawing cards because I've got this situation coming up where I don't have enough energy on the Snorlax at the moment, so we'll see. Don't know what my opponent plans to do with the Raikou here. Maybe they've got boss's orders and they're going to hunt down the Manaphy. In which case I probably need to hurry up. Might promote the Radiant Greninja and consider just using Serena. Yeah. Because there is a chance that we get a one-hit KO on the Lugia as well, because they have no Dunsparce, right? So that's the other play that we want to go for. Huge top deck, dude. Enormous top deck. Okay, have a think. I think I want to Serena the hand, right? So I'm gonna do this. Take the Zekrom. Because we've got the belt in hand, right? So go Zekrom, belt, Serena. This is enough. Because we can Scoop Up Net the Flaaffy to reuse it. But what we're going to do is use concealed cards. Just to see if we can draw into the Mareep. Sorry, the Flaaffy. And we do. So we get to preserve the Scoop Up Net while we're at it, which is good. This flowed pretty well, this game. Maybe a bit lucky, but I think, you know, we drew into the Scoop Up Net as well, right? So we had ways to get the Greninja out of there. Yeah, so now we just use Wild Shock for 320. And we take a bit of a lead. And the problem for them here now is if they bench any 2 prizes, they're potentially facing down a loss on the incoming. So here's Stoutland on cue. Marnie, pretty common occurrence. And they're going to get the double dip. What was in my hand? I think I can get rid of the Snorlax. They used Marnie, so it's not like they're going to boss his orders a Flaaffy here, so energy's going to come out. They've used 2 powerful energies already. And there's the other 2. So that will be enough to KO the Zekrom. Bit of a shame. I probably need a lightning attacker that they can't retaliate against with Stoutland. No. What? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. Professor's research. Fantastic. We are going to go discard a Mareep. We can take Ditto. Yeah, that's fine. It's a prime target for our opponent, but I think I shall not be a beggar in this case. And if we draw a stadium, then it's fine anyway. So no stadium, but we could Scoop Up Net. I probably like that better. Oh, we could have used concealed cards here first. If I draw a stadium, okay, I would have been disappointed, but it's fine. I'm going to Dynamo to the Manaphy here as well, just in case the balloon gets taken off the Greninja. Just so that I've got a pivot available. We'll retreat here, Snorlax. And the reason why I really want to attack with Snorlax instead of Ditto is so that the Stoutland has to work a little harder for the KO. Right? And if the Snorlax sticks, then they're in a lot of trouble. And they have to know that we've got Ditto in hand, so they can't really afford to wild tackle either. So, rough one for them. What do you do? Charizard, okay. Turbo. Capture energy will fizzle because there's no bench space due to collapsed stadium. And a research. So play choosing not to use the Marnie. Uh-oh. This may mean that they lose. So what happens here is they're going to use Wild Tackle and do 30 to themselves. And then we just come in with Ditto, attach an energy. Alright. So, as you can see, it's not open and shut. If I had stumbled even a little bit in this game, very easily could have been a loss. But we got there in the end, so it's okay. And we use Thumping Snore. GG. Nice and easy. Pretty good sample game, to be honest, against Lugia. You saw everything there. I went for the Manaphy because I had a worry about the Raikou coming into it. And then because we had the Manaphy, the Raikou was only able to take a knockout on the active Pokemon, essentially muting the added effect where it does 120 to the bench. We were able to get by with just one Flaaffy for part of the game, for most of the game, to be honest. We only needed the double Flaaffy on the turn where we attacked with Zekrom into the Lugia, and then we were able to conserve our resources quite well and take down the Stoutland by presenting the Snorlax, which one of the really strong things about the Snorlax is the big HP total. It meant that the Stoutland couldn't take a KO on our single prizer with the powerful energy, right? So they were forced to Wild Tackle and then hope that we somehow didn't have an energy in hand to finish powering up the Ditto, which at that point they would have known that we had. So, good game. Good game. Great sample game to include for the profile. So look, if you're watching, please consider subscribing. Maybe just leave a like or comment. Tell me what you think about the Flaaffy Snorlax. It's a bit different, but I enjoyed it. So, cheers. Thanks. Who was my hardest opponent in the tournament? Probably Tate in round 2. That was a very difficult game that I lost. There was not a lot I could do against that, unfortunately. Chad, sorry, I didn't mean to ignore all your messages. I was trying to just get through my story about how Swiss went and everything like that. I will get to you in a moment. We're gonna go with Snorlax here because we can Bird Keeper into it after a Mysterious Tail, of course. Take Air Balloon. That's a snap pick because we do have a good target for it. Now, instead of using Bird Keeper, I can consider using Serena. That's probably what I'm going to do. Maybe I keep Scoop Up Net and get rid of Bird Keeper here. Gosh. This is probably fine. I'm just going to play out this turn. I'm going to read chat. We don't have to go too ham, right? We can just do this. One energy on the Snorlax and a Mareep in play is kind of like the bare minimum. What's my favorite Pokemon that I have in the card collection game in real life? Well, I mean, I've got a bunch of cards. Right now, my favorite card is this Snorlax. Okay. It doesn't look very powerful, but it is a strong Pokemon in the grand scheme of the competitive card game. But what's my favorite Pokemon? That would be Blastoise. That would be Blastoise. Yeah, and I think I answered you, Akuma and Leo. Oh, well, thanks, Juice. Appreciate that. How have you been? We get to see you every so often in here. All right, bit of a quiet turn from our opponent there. We've got a level ball, so we can go for the Flaaffy. And we've already got a Mareep in the hand, right? So we can go Flaaffy here. And a Mareep. Now, one of the problems is we don't have energy in the discard pile yet, so... Good luck. Ah, thank you. And you've been chill? Good to hear. Sometimes that's all you want, right? Let's go tail, see what we get. Choice Belt is not really good enough, is it? So, I might have to Serena here. Or I could just Gourmandize again. Thank you, Akuma. Enjoy. Off the bed. Yeah, we'll use Serena here. When's the next tournament? Well, not sure exactly. Might just be a setup turn here again. Here's what we can do. I got a plan. We're going to discard Mareep as much as I would like to keep it. And we'll take Jynx. And we'll just promote it here. So now my opponent's not going to get a prize for the KO. And we get an extra turn to set up. Giratina is starting to get some attention again. Because it was apparently doing fairly well in Japan in the Scarlet and Violet EX era. That is almost upon us. We've got a little bit of time before then. A few more tournaments in the current format, so I'll be looking to play some games with the old Snorlax Flaaffy for a while, and then maybe build some other decks in the interim. Hey, Brock. Yeah, 69th. It was a good result. You should have been there with us. Nah, it's alright. You wouldn't have been able to register at this stage anyway. Next time. We'll go next time. Is Bidoof good? The new one? Yeah, I think so. Well, maybe we'll get you to a Brisbane Regional or something. Give you a control deck to play and off you go. You like Bidoof just in general? Yeah, I'm with you. Good Pokemon. So Leo, when is the next tournament? It's so there is a tournament in Perth, which would require me to fly across the country in about 3 weeks' time. I don't think that I'll be entering any major IRL tournaments for a while. I just have like financial related things that I need to focus on at the moment, so can't really do that at the moment. Considering Sydney regionals, but I'd be going down purely to compete for the sake of competing. Like, placing 69th out of 524 at the IC, I believe means that I earn 100 championship points, and that's half an invite to the World Championships. So there is like incentive to travel to Perth and Sydney, but I gotta tell you, I'm not super enamored with the idea. We'll play Bird Keeper here. Excellent. We get Twin Energy. That's gonna help. Let's use Tail. A Rope is fine, but we are lacking energy. See, during the deck profile that I did earlier, I mentioned this, right? This deck has a tendency to struggle with getting energy early. Sometimes. which is why I play the Sonia. A bit annoying. That's alright. So one of my favorite supporters, I guess at the moment, one of my favorites is Sonia here. Just because for me, it's been a bit of a unique inclusion in the deck that I played at the IC, right? And I have kind of a new appreciation for what Sonia can do. So I was very happy to be able to play like a kind of offbeat sort of approach with kind of weird card inclusions, and they worked, like the theory worked out. So yeah, it's been good. Yeah, so look, you remember when I got top 8 again soon? I'm gonna try. Look, at the very least, if I'm not competing in IRL games, IRL tournaments, I will be playing in... Ooh, that's... Research is good. I will want to be competing in... Don't want either of these packs. Probably want the Mareep back, right? We can take the... No. This? No. This? Oh, you really enjoyed the theme deck video? I'm glad. Unfortunately, theme decks are going to be a bit thing of the past because of live. But, you know, they serve their purpose in the time that I had them, right? That we had them. I will say, though, at the event, I had the opportunity to obtain a physical copy of the Soaring Storm theme deck, and so I did. And now I've got like a physical copy of it on my shelf. You like the green screen? Yeah, it's a nice, I think it's Elgato green screen. It's very convenient. You can like roll it up and down, and it's sort of like, it's like very compact and easy to use. Yeah, well, I'm glad. That's good, Juice. We can use... Yeah, we'll use research. Okay, we got energy, and that is good. We needed energy. And we're going to get rid of a lightning. And we'll just grab, like, Ditto here. So now we can use Dynamator. And that is the strength of Snorlax. Cramorant can't collect the early KOs on you, you know. There's our Flaaffy. Thank you. Thank you very much. How is live on PC? Look, it's not perfect. There's like cards banned at the moment because they don't work properly, and you get like random glitches. Like I stopped testing Kyogre Frostmoth prior to the IC because it wasn't working properly on live. So it's like, what do you want me to do? I just stopped testing it. Maybe it's working now, but it was bugged before, so... But, you know, live is fine. It's good enough at the moment. Of course, I want to expect more from a company that I pay money to for their products. Spend money to travel to their events and things like that. Look at this photograph. Yeah, that's right. They must do better. What is that holo effect? That looks awful. What is this? Gross. What is this effect? I really want them to use the V-Star power and then fail because of unfazed fat. Yeah, it just looks gross. Alright, so here, we now just go Mew to the active. Gone too far. Yeah. Yeah. So here... So we can play it out like this, right? We can go Twin Energy on... no, we'll go Sonia. Take 2 energy. So this is, you know, here's the purpose of the Sonia. If that was just a professor's research, we wouldn't be able to get energy without discarding all of these, right? So now I'm gonna go energy attach here. Let's go tail. You're gonna build a real non-theme deck in Scarlet and Violet. Well, good luck. Yeah, and if we can give you a hand, like, you know, ask us for help here. Maybe we can help you. So just put Ditto down. Sure. You gonna build Arceus? That's alright. Energy. So yeah, now Jynx is sort of ready to go. Theme deck is a fun format. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, what's too bad is that they didn't continue with just adding the replacement product to the tournament rotation, but I don't know. Who's your favorite Pokemon? So I've mentioned this before, but my favorite Pokemon is Blastoise. It's the Pokemon that saw me through to the World Championships 10 years ago, so I have a bit of an affinity for All Mate. Your favorite's Vaporeon, another Gen 1 fan. That's cool. So we really need a Serena. Nothing in hand. Yeah. In 2013, I competed in the World Championship. So what I can do here, the video storyline. Yeah, I think that it would be good to go back and do like a video covering my run at Worlds. And from my perspective, I have like photos and stuff from back then too, which would be nice to share. I was talking about this on the weekend with some of the other players that I know from that era. And what I said was, it feels like 2013 was kind of like the bridge between 2 eras of the game. Because there were a lot of like old school players there at the time, including Klaczynski, who got his 3rd World Championship at that tournament. So we're going to paralyze this Leafeon. Make life a little bit tricky. The problem now, though, is that I'm lacking the damage output. So it used Leaf Guard before. Good year, yeah. Oh, they had the switch anyway, huh? Now they're going to hit us with the cram. They're playing a pretty tight game on their side. Here it comes. They don't want to deal with the Jynx, huh? Actually, this game is really getting away from us now because we've used the rod. All of our Snorlax are gone. So, we're kind of running out here. Is research the play? So, I need to take 4 prizes to win. I only have 2 attackers left, and they're Ditto and Flaaffy. Oh, sorry, Ditto and Zekrom. This is why I included the Ditto in the first place, right? I think they win. I think we lose here. Play 1 Ampharos. I thought about it the night before Swiss. But I didn't have access to one, so I had to put that idea away. But in theory, it's good as a way to... Oh, why did I attach it to Flaaffy? It's good in theory. Gotta go. Oh, no worries, Leo. Thanks for tuning in. Grats. Yeah, thank you, Leo. Appreciate seeing you in here. We'll see you next time, yeah? I guess I put up Ditto, because I can always retreat it. It's only 1 energy, right? So, but yeah, I think we lose this game. There's no point in benching Mareep. Yeah. They really just ran us out of cards. They've got no energy left. But they probably have energy somewhere in here. Is there any like weird attacks that I can do here? Not really. I should make a video about beginner decks. I do have something like that. Juice. So I've got a video that talks about I'm just going to end here and see if they can retreat. Maybe they can't. But that seems really unlikely. We got Serena, though. So that helps. As long as they don't hit us with a boss's orders, we'll be okay. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so we can still win this. It's hard, but we can. This is gonna be difficult, but we can. Cram's weak to lightning, yeah, but 110 HP, so... I really need Belt. I need this last card to be Belt. Might be in our prizes. So we go Serena here. Actually, we just do it like this, right? Actually, this is fine. This is fine. So, attach. And we might just Dynamite it for fun here. To here, just in case. Thanks, Juice. Thanks. And then we do this. So, if they boss around the Zekrom, we're in trouble. But this is like the best line of play I can come up with, right? There's that Belt. So now Zekrom can knock out the Leafeon and force sudden death. If that's what happens. If they just promote Cram... Alright, we really need this card to be Serena. I don't actually know what it is, so... Alright, I guess they've chosen to lose. Because we do 210 minus 30. That's enough. Alright, let's see what the last card was. It was Serena anyway. Choice Belt. Thumping Snore. The Choice Belt was a very crucial pickup there. Thank you. I thought that was unwinnable. But it goes to show that there's always a way. You just gotta slow down and think about it sometimes. Pulled it out, yeah. Yeah, and even if they did, like, the thing that I thought they would do, which is promote the Cram. Because I had to take 2 prizes to win, right? Serena... gets in the way there. So we had the belt and we got the Serena, so we were alright at the very end.